Hi, Tanya. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. What brings you into the office today?
Um, I'm having kind of embarrassing. I feel like I'm having some issues with my husband in the bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been going on for a while. So I just felt like I should do something to maybe get some help about it.
Of course. Could you tell me more about what kind of issues you're having with your husband?
Um, we've been married for years, but in the whole time we've been married, I've only had um, maybe one orgasm, and I wasn't even sure if that was really what it was.
Okay.
But I don't orgasm when we have sex.
And are you able to identify what's preventing you from experiencing orgasm?
Um, I feel like it may be stemming from um, I was date raped in high school. It was just a friend that I had, growing up, and we were drinking, and when I kind of blacked out and came to, he was raping me.
Okay. So it sounds like your sexual experience, was that your first time?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was.
So it sounds like there's a negative connection with sex as a whole. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, how do you feel like that is affecting your relationship with your husband? What are you experiencing emotionally or physically?
I'm not necessarily saying I'm having flashbacks, but when we're having sex, I usually feel like anxious or feel like I can't relax and maybe enjoy it. So it's just kind of always in the back of my mind that, this is not quite right.
And tell me about how you've dealt with it for the past 4 years with not really addressing the issue.
Well, my husband knows about the situation, so he knew that has happened in my life, so he's been really patient. He tries not to push me or force me into having sex. Um, there haven't been, I guess, a lot of opportunities really. We have sex maybe once a week or something like that. So that's kind of just how I've been dealing with it. Is just, guess, not dealing with it.
Okay. Well, that's good that your husband sounds like he's very supportive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. He's trying his best to understand, but talking to friends, I know that sex is very important in marriage.
Right.
And so I just don't want my issues to come between us in the bedroom.
And how comfortable are you talking about the traumatic event?
Now it's been about 10 years, so I guess previously not very comfortable. I'm a little bit more open to it now. It still is a source of anxiety, but it's not as bad as it was before.
Mm-hmm. So good. So you moved beyond just avoiding the memory, and now tell me how you would like to work on that moving forward.
I guess it's like coping skills maybe, or something to help me relax when I'm being intimate with my husband. I don't know, I feel like, it's a personal problem.
Mm-hmm.
So just anything that I can do to work it out so I can enjoy sex and, to be able to be more sexually intimate with my husband. So I guess the long-term goal is just, to our sex life to be enjoyable for us both. I guess that's a better way to put it.
And I have to ask you, Tanya, have you looked at the situation from a medical perspective? Is everything clear with you and your doctor?
I haven't, I guess, specifically. I go to, I do like yearly OB appointments.
Right.
but not anything extensive than like a typical appointment.
Okay. Because it sounds like, I mean, you said that, you want to learn some coping skills. It sounds like that a lot of this may be driven by anxiety, but we also want to make sure that there's nothing medical that could be contributing to your concerns. So I definitely want to encourage you to follow up with your doctor, and also, let him or her know what's been going on so they can clear you medically.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. All right. So I want to just for a brief second get clarity on how you what kind of treatment you received, or if any, when the abuse took place.
It wasn't any treatment. I'm from a small town. Like I said, the guy, somebody I knew very well, grew up with, I feel like I could trust.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately told my friends and got a little bit of courage to tell my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents talked to his parents, and we were just told not to talk or be around each other. That's about it. We were seniors, so we graduated, in a few months, and I didn't have to see him again, during college. But he didn't get a reprimand, and I didn't receive any formal counseling. We prayed about it in church, forgiveness and healing for me, but nothing formal in counseling or anything.
So you tried maybe a holistic approach,
Yeah,
praying and believing,
right,
for divine intervention,
yeah,
healing your emotions, but you never actually addressed
right,
your emotions.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a believer. I go to church, and I feel like it did help me. Like, I don't resent him or anything like that. I have forgiven him, but just still the emotions around the situation, it was just confusing, and I felt guilty because we were drinking, which we were not supposed to. So just thinking about, was it my fault, and like those type of emotions I had to kind of work through. During college, I actually abstained from sex after that, until I got married. So
was that due to guilt? Or
yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, per my Christian faith, I should wait anyway.
Right.
So I was hoping to do that when the rape happened, and that I think that was one thing too. It angered me that it's like something was taken from me that I was reserving for my husband. And then also, I didn't ever want to be in that situation again. So I just kind of made it a habit of, I didn't drink in college. I didn't have any male friends. I stuck to trusted female friends that I knew, just to kind of make sure I was never put in that situation again.
So you sound like you kind of guarded yourself from
definitely
a lot of social events.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder what did that date rape actually end up telling you about yourself? How did you internalize that?
I feel like most of it was be careful. People are not who they seem. And then for me, it's like, make better decisions. Like I said, I knew that drinking isn't morally right, especially underage, and I chose to engage in that decision, and then the consequence was something that was traumatic for me. So I just feel like I have to be on the straight and narrow to avoid like severe consequences. That's kind of, I think, how I took away from it. Just always trying to live a life according to like the rules or biblical, to avoid bad things happening.
So rules are a big deal for you.
Yeah, safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think rules are imperative in society to kind of help define those guidelines of what's acceptable versus what is not. Um, I'm concerned on if whether you kind of bottled up your experience by almost, it sounds like, blaming yourself for not following the rules, which is um, a concern for me because now it seems like it's spilling over into your marriage. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like even during sex, it's always very plain, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear my friends talk, it seems like they're more adventurous and they're doing things, I've never really heard of, and like my husband is just kind of the same every time. So,
Okay.
but I think a lot of it was him trying to be careful with my emotions, which I appreciate, but I don't want him to be bored with me, because of that. So,
are you having sex with your husband because you love him and genuinely have a desire to have sex with him, or are you having sex with him because you know that's the rules of being a wife?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I love my husband. He's a great man, and he was the only pursuer that was able to break through the barrier that I had.
Right.
And I appreciate about him. He's so empathetic and understanding. So I care for him. I like being intimate with him physically. I like his touch. However, more of it is like something on my checklist that I need to do in order to make our marriage continue to be strong.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's strong in every other area except this one, And just talking to my other married friends, I'm realizing that that's not what a sex life should look like in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It could be better or enjoyable because they all seem, to love it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. it could be better.
Right.
So,
paint me a picture of how sex talk looked when you were a kid growing up. Did your parents talk to you about?
The talk about sex growing up was to not engage in sex when you're married, to save your body. Your body is your temple. It was all from a biblical standpoint. So I didn't really know the mechanics of what was happening until probably a few months before I was date raped, because my friends were starting to have sex and then they would talk about it. Okay. And so just hearing it from them, I even knew what where and anything like that. But before that, my parents, it was just more of modesty and you saving yourself for marriage. Don't do it. It's more don't do it. Don't get pregnant. Don't do it. You'll get a disease. Something like that. But very preventative. That's all I really knew about it at a young age.
So with your background in a lot of rules, a lot of policy, procedure, this is what we do, this is what we don't do, in combination with the trauma you experienced, it sounds like maybe you're just not feeling comfortable with letting yourself go or allowing yourself to be free in your sexual experience with your husband. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's kind of scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what letting go would feel like or do, or kind of like the fear of the unknown, maybe.
Right.
Like you want something to happen, but you don't really know because you don't know enough about it, I guess. So.
Well, if you could change it, what do you think it would look like?
Maybe, what I see on TV or something, like.
And what's that? What does that look like?
Just freer and not the same thing all the time, and different positions, or I don't know, role play, or just something. I mean, I know TV is not like the perfect example, but it seems to be more aligned to what I hear my friends talking about. So
And when you hear your friends talking about it, does that sound like, oh, I would like to have that in my personal life?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it makes me curious about, you know, oh, this could be a whole lot better or enjoyable, or the benefits of, you know, a good sex life seem good. So, yeah, they make me really curious about what I could do or enjoy or something.
Right. And how have you discussed that curiosity that you're talking about with your husband? Or have you?
Not really. I mean, no, not really.
What's preventing you from having that conversation?
I don't know. I think I'm a little embarrassed.
Okay.
Um,
about the topic itself, or saying what it is that you want?
Probably, I think saying what I want. Okay. Topic, no, not so much. I mean, but just saying, let's try this, or can you do more? Because I don't want him to think that it's him or his fault or something like that. So it's just but I don't know how to bring it up, or I don't know.
Well, and I think that's very good that you're conscious about how he will perceive it, and not wanting to bring it up to where he feels like he's doing something wrong. So that's good insight. But maybe if you bring it up in a way that's a fun, lighthearted, type approach, to say, honey, I was wondering, like, how do you feel about X, Y, and Z, and see what his response is. Now, let me ask you, Tanya, you don't have to verbalize it, but could you think about at least one thing that you would like to do different with your husband in your sex life?
Yeah.
That one big thing that you're like, I really wish we could try that.
Yeah. I didn't think about it. My friends say they like when their husbands go down on them. Okay.
So oral sex.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that you could possibly set as a goal for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I could, I don't know, bring it up or something to him. He's really sweet. I think he'll be open to it. And he's a good guy, but I don't know. I think it's just weird and uncomfortable a little bit. So.
Okay. How do you feel about making that a homework assignment for this week? You having that conversation with your husband?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah. Now, we talked earlier about letting yourself go and being free in the moment. Do you feel like that assignment will allow you to do that, to let yourself go and not be held back by that past trauma?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I wouldn't normally do, so that, maybe that would give me a sense of freedom, just to kind of break that barrier down a little bit.
I like that. That's great. So maybe having that conversation is a good step moving forward. Tanya, I want to tell you that many females have problems with what you're experiencing, and a lot of times it's not always medical. Sometimes it's more cognitive. How we perceive or think about something usually shows up in our behavior or our emotions. And it sounds like you did have that traumatic experience as a younger lady, and you kind of just carried that. It became more of a behavioral thing than anything else. I mean, you have a great husband who's supportive and understanding, but now it's time to start trying to modify those behaviors. So I would also be mindful, if you find yourself those old feelings start coming up again, I want to encourage you to kind of identify that. Okay. What's going on in this very moment that is causing me to feel like this? Okay. Or recording your thoughts. My husband strokes my back. What immediately pops in my head? Am I receiving him, or am I just giving in because that's my role? Right. Okay. So, what is another goal that you would like to set for yourself for this week?
maybe have sex more often, like instead of one time, try to do it like 2 times, or just the frequency of it.
Okay.
I think that would be better for him and probably me too.
Okay. So now you're really spicing things up and going outside the norm with improving the frequency. And I wanted to clarify. So it's really more so the disconnect and not any discomfort. Is that accurate?
No, it's not uncomfortable. I mean, it's actually, I mean, it feels nice, you know. I like to be close to him. It's just, I don't feel like I get out of it the same thing he does, or the same thing I hear my friends do, or if I see it on TV. Like, it's just, they seem to like really enjoy it and
be all in,
like this loud thing, and I'm just like, I don't ever get to that point where, you know, I'm like screaming or something like that.
How do your rules make you feel safe?
They give me a sense of control. I think that's the main thing. I feel like as long as I do A, B, and C, then I can predict the outcome.
Okay.
So I don't have to, looks like I don't have to worry about something blindsiding me, as long as I know what I'm supposed to do.
So that's been a safety technique for you, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said earlier that you feel safe with your husband. Yeah.
I do.
So now it's just kind of reprogramming your mind to understand that I don't have to have those guards when I'm with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when you have those guards towards your husband, what do you think initially your thought is?
I feel like cognitively I know, like in my brain I know that he won't hurt me, but still in the back of my mind it's like just in case, you know, so I think there's not as many barriers. If there's more, like I feel like every year it's like lessening the barriers, but they're still there. I mean, you know, and I don't know, I just don't think that's healthy.
Right. Well, Tanya, I think you know, it sounds like you have a couple of goals in mind that you definitely be able to work on here, kind of using more of a cognitive-based therapy approach to kind of help, like I said, reprogram the brain into knowing what's pleasurable versus when to be guarded, you know. But I also want to suggest maybe even couples therapy. You know, maybe this is something that, since you said your husband was very understanding and he didn't mind, you know, being supportive of you as you walk through this, maybe that's something that, I know you said you haven't talked to him about being adventurous and exploring different options, but maybe that's something that, if you feel comfortable, you know, he can come join you next time and we can talk about together.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That'll be good. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you would think too. So.
Yeah, because I think having both perspectives and having a safe place for you to vent and kind of seeing how he feels about it, and maybe that'll help ease some of the anxiety that you were talking about earlier as well.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So, well, great. Well, how was the session for you? What do you feel like you got out of it?
It was good. You know, I felt like I was able to recognize that the rules have really taken over my life, and even in a safe space like my marriage, I still feel like I'm adhering to these rules. So it was good to recognize that and to like verbalize it. You know, I can see it in a different perspective now, and kind of just getting a little bit of confidence to talk to my husband about something that I feel was a little embarrassing. You know, I'm more motivated to do it. You know.
Great. Well, that's good. And this is only the beginning. So I look forward to walking through this journey with you, helping you get where you want to be.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions, concerns?
No.
No?
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll see you next time. All right.
Thanks.
All right.